This Saturday's honoring of Coach Tony Bennett was bittersweet. His proud references to the 2019 National Championship banner were a reminder of the security and consistency he represented for this program and community. From the day Bennett stepped down as head coach in the fall, expectations for men's hoops this season were in limbo. Any hope going into the new year was squandered when the Hoos dropped 5 straight ACC contests to begin January. On an organizational level, this feels like something of a transitional year. A young roster combined with an interim head coach doesn't normally set you on a trajectory to keep dancing into March. Did Coach Bennett's 15 years of high organizational aptitude leave fans a little spoiled? Maybe. But the role of the fan base at this time is to hold this program's feet to the fire and try to designate who should be held accountable for what. Let's take a look under the hood at some trends that can point us in the right direction. For the first leg of the season, UVA was in desperate need of more service from the backcourt. McNeely has been reliable, but they were in need of someone at the point to take charge of the offense. Since the new year, we've seen Andrew Rohde and Day-Day Ames step up to the plate. Day-Day Ames' offensive role has fluctuated throughout the season. His minutes have been limited due to his defensive lapses, and more on that later, resulting in him averaging just 5.5 shots per game. At the time of this recording, though, he's red hot. In his last 3 games, he's gone for 18, 11, and 27 against Pitt, the most by any Who in a single game this season. He has an exotic skill set on this roster. No one combines accuracy from beyond the arc with the handle and burst to get to the rim with ease like Ames. Even more exciting, we've seen Andrew Rohde take a huge leap during this season. After a sophomore season to forget, he stumbled at the gates again this year. His shot seemed to be fixed from last year, but he carried his tendency for turnovers into the first 10 games of the season, averaging 2.9 turnovers per game. In the past month, he's posted a 24-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio, the best in the country. He's also stepped up as a needed vocal leader on the court, conducting the offense and unlocking key passes. Between Ames and Rohde, this offense looks a lot brighter when both of them are on their day. Even when the whole college basketball world memed last season's impotent offense, the Hoos were able to hang their hat on the Bennett pack line defense, dragging opponents down into low-scoring contests. And this year, the defense is more pack-light than pack-line. They still enforce a slow pace of play, but it never really feels like they can impose themselves on their opponents. The youth of guys like Ames, Buchanan, and Kofi is a consistent weakness. Buchanan has the foul bug. Kofi shows promise, but he's prone to freshman mistakes. Both bigs look like they need another offseason of lifting and eating and watching tape. Day-Day Ames is also often a defensive liability. Listed at 6'1", you don't necessarily expect him to be clamps, but it's his lapses in concentration and spatial awareness that landed him a spot on the bench in the middle of the season. Lately, though, Coach Sanchez seems to have found a rotation that balances the best of both worlds. Ames' dynamism on offense is too valuable to leave out of the starting lineup. In totality, this roster has shown enough promise to merit a degree of positivity from fans. I don't think they've had an outsized impact on this season's shortcomings. I also don't point the finger at Coach Sanchez. In hindsight, the writing was on the wall for a down year, and Sanchez has been a great players coach, attuned to the personalities and psychology of the roster. As I see it, it wasn't just Tony Bennett, but the entire program that was unequipped for the transfer portal era. Every program now must operate with a win-now mentality. There's no grace period for developing young players. Great coaching and team values won't win you top recruits if you can't promise them immediate on-court success and a shot at the NCAA tournament. At this moment, what the program needs most is direction. That starts with building off of 3 straight wins and finding a way into the ACC tournament. Then the focus turns to Carlo Williams. The ceremony on Saturday was a reminder that Tony Bennett's presence will forever loom large in JPJ, but a lot of work must be done to get out from behind his shadow. I'm Callum Bone, WUVA.